All right, so greetings and welcome back. So basically, what I'm trying to do here, I'm trying to fix up this Node.js application. Um, so basically, what I'm trying to do here is that, you know that like these defaults, you can't just be using the same variables everywhere throughout your app. So so what I'm trying to do is trying to really try to have this figured out here. Right, so now it's looking like it's not. Right, so, right, so this application should be working. Right, so this part of the application should work. Right, so now it's basically complaining to me that this stuff doesn't exist. So one thing is that it's not immediately it's not immediately obvious. You know what it's not immediately obvious how things get imported here. So what I want to do is I want to ask ChatGPT, right? If this is correct, because it's saying it's incorrect, and I right, and basically what I think what I'll try to do, right, is that it's basically trying to tell me it's like the index.js, right? So if I look in the node modules and look for express, right, I'm probably going to find it out there. Anyway, I think I'm getting some more information that I kind of need to use 16. That was quick. Oh no. No. Hopefully package.json is still here. Alright. Yeah. That's a new package lock. Right, and it's telling me I need to use 16.8, 18.0. Now npm install s. Let's just wait for that to complete. So I gotta do tsc. Right. I'm definitely gonna need that. And there's no index in here. I just see app. And then looks like I need to add a tsconfig.json to the bottom of this application. So tsconfig.json. Alright, so there's that. Then going to this, it wants me to do that. Alright, so let's let that set itself up. Alright, so hopefully it'll look you start figuring itself out. It looks like it is. And I'm not too sure what that's all about, but now I just want to install this again just to make sure I didn't correct anything. No modules. And then I'll just reinstall it. And then, why? Express is tiny compared to these frameworks. So there's that. Right, so all of these have their issues, right? So there's no index.js. So I don't have an index.ts, I have an app.ts, so hopefully. So basically that's my listener, kind of assumed it. So if I go to my package, right, and then I go ahead and say, There's no disk folder here. So app.ts. So hopefully this kind of works. So this kind of works. So I say npm dev. Let's try to see. Oh, so I guess 16 doesn't have that. So say npx. Say npx. All right, so it looks like TS node is missing. Dash D. TS node. Let's try to see if that kind of do a trick for us. So hopefully we can try to get this application to start for us here. All right, cool. So can't find module app.ts. Yep, I know you can't because it's not in source. It's just in the top level directory. So express file upload. So basically there. So an express file upload. So it's kind of complaining about that, right? So let's go get this thing installed. Install -s. All right, and then it looks like we had some sort of error. Might be having some sort of peer dependency error. Yep. So I don't know where this is in the application. Hopefully it's somewhere else in the application. All right, so you have to look for it online. Look for it online. All right, so hopefully we could get it right. So it looks like file upload. All right, and then we are both because something happened again. All right, looks like it installed it for us this time. So, then how do we use this thing? All right, so it kind of looks like we don't need to. All right, so so I think what I'll do, I'll just grab these links, and that's like really cool. They can Python you have to do it yourself, but here looks like you could just straight up. So we'll just use file upload and hopefully figure out the import. Alright, so hopefully can't figure it out. Alright, so I guess it's just gonna be there. So hopefully, Esther sees it and then kind of get added into the middleware. So let's just hope for that. That's the case. So basically, this is kind of looking good. So gotta. So you know what? Let's try to go through this application, try to see. All right, so it's a whole lot of TS ignore. I see. So. I think it's the wrong type of request here. Yeah, so that's basically like the issues that we're kind of getting from here. All right, so all of these, right, and then this doesn't need to be imported, right, because we're using TypeScript now. What could happen now is, and then I think decoy user was type user, So we're using model, and then I think the user ID. So public user ID, blue string, and no. And then I'm kind of wondering. I think they wanted just a role model, not. Yeah, this import looks really interesting. Yeah, so we never. There's no default here. So I'm gonna say the default was. Yep, so it has no default, so I'm gonna just say user. And then we'll figure it out later, but right now, user ID doesn't. So it says user ID doesn't exist, so let's try to make it exist because I don't know. Yeah, I definitely like to attend. I definitely don't want to try to change. So hopefully, this kind of does the trick for us. All right, so I'm not sure what that was all about, but so this is order ID, order post model. So public user ID. ID is going to be equal to a string. This dot user ID equals order dot user ID. All right, so I fixed that. It's saying it belongs there, so I really do believe. All right, so any, I'll just say as any because I'm not sure. I'm sure that that belongs there. The application needs that. Oh, yes, it does because I have the middleware helping me out. So ts ignore. So I'll try to use that to like try to extend this with our own little class. If I'm thinking, yeah. All right, so what I'll try to do is ts ignore. All right, so there's that. So I kind of like scienced, but let's try to see the problems throughout the workspace here. So then I think what I want to do, I want to compare this against a standard CS config because I really didn't really need to do this myself. So no inputs were found. I don't know what that means. Let's try to run that. Alright, so npm run dev, try to see what that's all about. Okay. Alright, so app.ts, so express file upload. Yep, I can't find it either. Let's try it again. Alright. Cannot file. So cart. So I think this is spelled wrong. So if I kind of look for it, yeah, this doesn't exist. But and let's see in package.json. We have a connection. Yeah, we don't. So so it doesn't exist here. All right, so it must exist in this application. So let's try to do that. ECTIN. So it's in the same file. So oh, that's really not good. We really need that database to exist now. Because if it doesn't, and this is JavaScript, right? So then one thing we want to try to do is want to try to turn JavaScript into TSOCD DAO. So move. So git checkout dot c dot dot upgrade, and so cd DAO git checkout. All right. So basically, what to do? So hopefully, I have permission to push. Oh. Uh, I need to get ignore. So with the script, I was able to rename all the files. So let's try to see if TypeScript intelligence is going to tell me what's going on. All right. So it's all right. So basically, all right. So there's no const. And it catches this error style the E. So I'm gonna have to do something about this here. All right. So there's going to be that, but now I really got to figure out how to get this database. So let's see if we can get the shrink. That's what I was looking for. Oh, and they're using MySQL, right? So SQL 2. Right, so this is the DAO. They call it the DAO, but let's import it. There we go. So redeclaring it. Let's just delete it. Where is this starting on the application? It's saying it's kind of interesting. There's no connection. There's no connection right there. It's just the database. This is really interesting because it's saying that it kind of exists when it doesn't. I mean, let's see. I guess we could see. And the SQL, yeah, here. I'm really wondering how this is getting, how this is being made known that it's like, hey, there's a database object in here. I don't see the database object, but I mean, if it is, let it be. So, and then what we need to do is we kind of need to set the SQL. So later we're going to probably need to install Docker, which is going to help us out here. All right, so all right, so this is the SQL. I see. So all the SQL right here, and then once again, right there's that. So that fixes that. So let's try to start the application now. Now we'll just try to save this somewhere because it's a pointing little PowerShell script. It's going to help me get places. All right, so PS1. So we're going to save that in there just for the time being. Um, right, so there's that. Let's try to run the application. and then I'm not expecting that database to connect. Let's see, app config. Okay, so using environment variables are supposed to get set. Look, I think we're just going to have to replace them for all. Um, put this little script together. See that. I wasn't paying attention to the arrows, so I see if I can find it. So DAL connection right there. Mark it down. So there's no connection router here. Import it properly. This node. I'm wondering where this file is from. So there's no A. So yep. So I guess whoever was writing this got confused. I don't even know where this error. Sure it does. That's what happens for these students. They take everything they see literally. They can't separate the messages from their variables. So all right, so that's just take care of that. All right, now I can't figure things out. All right, nice. I want this everything to be exported properly. So so costs. So it's complaining it doesn't could server error. Oh, no, it does. No, it does. I can. So this expert's not working in my favor. Let's reload the application. Oh. Alright, so there's that. So there's no imports, right? It finally came to sensitive. Okay, so looks like says throw server error is throw new server error. That should take care of that. That should really correct the issues going on in there. And yeah, that should take care of that. So let's try to run the application now. But I can't see any more errors. Let's try to save. So yep, so that's gonna be a difficult one because I need to import the router. Yeah, so cartridge. So this router can't come from here. This router can't come from there. This router needs to come from somewhere, and it can't be from them. It can't be from each other. Yeah, no, you can't come from there. So hopefully, the proper applications exporting this thing. So let's try to see if we can see. Nope, no code actions. So let's try to go through a sample express application. So router. All right, yeah. So it kind of looks like they're doing the same thing. So a whole lot of router, huh? So let's go to app. Instead of replace everything, I'm just gonna stay. Yeah, I think I'll be able to export it this way. Port let router equals server. And now, right, what we could go ahead and do, add all missing imports in the world. Let's try to add everything, and then I don't even think I need to export this, to be honest, but it is what it is. Yeah, I might be doing it wrong. Because I think we're going to get some sort of circular input going on here. So, but let's see. See if you have any controllers. Okay, so that's how you get it. Yeah, so yeah, it kind of makes sense that's going to be undefined. Where's the cart controller? Yeah, so basically here, what they're trying to say is that instead of that, should grab it from there. Given that there's probably like one router in this application. So it's really not good because like you really kind of think of the router separately as you don't think the router is part of the API application. Is what it is. Hopefully, this kind of works, because this is what we might get stuck on. Hopefully you get past it, but nah, it is what it is. Alright, so looks like we got past it. So user logic, let's try to go there. So login model. Oh, so that's not good. Hopefully you have a login module somewhere. So yeah, that just exists there, I think. And we have a user model, but I don't know. let's see. So user validate. So let's try to say validate. So it doesn't exist, or say it doesn't exist. Email is string. Right. So we're gonna say that, and then okay packet. I don't know. Okay packets for. Huh. So okay, so there's response from the user that first name. Yeah. So what I've been come so what I'm coming to understand from this is that there's this user class that's supposed to exist. It's straight up doesn't. Um, I think this is a class, so let's try to see if we can find a class user. Yeah, so I really can't find it, so I'm not sure, but I'm just gonna go ahead, for the fun of it, make a user. Alright, so class user, there is the user, and the user like so. Alright, so first name, so everything's gonna complain. User. Alright, so hopefully it eventually figures out that this exists. I know you exist. Um, then okay packet is the user from user. Right, so that should do the trick. Now all these things have to exist. First name, last name, user, email, password, city, street, and role. String, last name, string, password, string. So email, string. Yep. So I say first name. So city, street, and role. String. And then role, I'm going to leave it as any because I want to deal with it today. Alright, so validation. Not what this is for, but it's needed. So validation. Turn false. Looks like this thing is always going to work. Okay. Basically, this has to return null. So I'm not sure what OK attack is all about, but oh, I think we got some nasty Hopefully you don't have the string and then the password. So I can't really delete it, so equals null. Well, any keyword. Okay, tag, I'm not sure what that's all about. So, yep, so I kind of figured that this would be a user model, right? So I wish I kind of saw that, but I take care of that. Now I got a big problem. So looks like there was just one user model after all. So shouldn't fall for it, but I did. It's all right. So it's validate email exists. Right, so email exists is most like a function coming from the database just to see if the email already exists, but I ain't gonna rewrite that function. So I'm just gonna straight delete it. I don't want to rewrite it at this point. And then password any. If we see the user model, username, password. Alright, so I guess it kind of works. So this just can't exist. And I don't think the user.password should be anything. And then I should get my user model equals this new user model, and then well that'll be the say a let. We always use the let keyword. All right, so we say username. All right, so okay, we don't get a username apparently, but it's just got to be their first name plus their last name at this point. I don't know what to tell you. First name plus underscore plus user dot last name. Yeah, no, it's not. So let's gotta do something about that. Yeah, so try about that. And then user dot password. Now let's update the user model or string and then password string. All right, so that could stay silent. All right, so that tells that. That tells that. So it looks like it just wants a regular user. So hopefully you get. Yeah, I don't know how this is gonna work, but and then we're just gonna have to straight up. Hopefully this works, but we gotta get the text right. I don't know if we will. So there's that, and there's that user logic, and then let's pass in the user model here. All right, so let's see how that goes. All right, so I think I kind of got rid of all my errors so far. So let's try to see how this goes. Okay, so there's a lot going on here. It looks like some information was imported. So let's just go ahead and import that. Yeah, so it's kind of interesting because null should be assignable to type string. All right, so I want to say here ts ignore. All right, so if anything, it's kind of loading for a bit. Oh, so this is something you don't want to see. All right, so let's go there. So I already need a type here. It looks like. All right, so that looks like that. So hopefully we're gonna be at this for a while, but all right. So this looks like I'm finally able to get the application to run. Let this to give it access. Right, but then when we're trying to connect to the MySQL database, I shouldn't have any. So I wonder if this application is running. To be honest. And then I see app config. So looks like it really does look like my application is running, but I'm not too sure. Maybe I know that I don't have a SQL database up, so I'll be surprised. So it looks like it's not being printed out. So look at our client. Let's try to see what's going on. Server error is not a constructor. It's just somewhere going on somewhere in the application. I'm not too sure. So there's nothing for the drop downs. Password, confirm the password. Then this next step. Now, I kind of wonder where this is coming from. It's not really too sure, but all right. Let's try to see if we try to get everything to work here. So it kind of looks like the application's running, but then I get server errors not a constructor. So I definitely want to take a look at my server error class. My errors server and a symbol in their iterator. What's that doing there? I wonder why that's there like that. Throw server. Alright, so Yeah, so some sort of error is going on in here. I'm not too sure. And I don't even know where to mark it. So let's see if the controllers are any around. All right, so I have market. So I get next, the next function. So market DAO. So hopefully, let's go over to our DAOs. Apparently, market DAO. And then throw a new server error. So basically, what it's trying to complain about here is that server error is not a constructor. So, and then like the way everything's being imported, I don't really appreciate that. So, so yeah, whatever this is coming from. It's not good to have it around. But it's not really telling me it's 600 error. There's no. I wonder where the 600 error is coming from. So a server error occurred. Okay, so I think that's better. Right, but here's the inner error. So connection refused. 127.0.0.1.2306. Right, so basically we're trying to connect to that SQL database that we're desperately missing at this point. So let's close all of our editors. Let's go over to our app config. And yeah, I think we could toss this because I don't think we're going to use production. So yeah, I'm gonna should say yeah, I'm gonna should delete this because I don't have access to process. All right, and now what I want to try to do is, and then I really gotta figure out how I'm connected to the database. So it looks like I tried to connect to 3306. Host user port. So let's try to RT because now I'm running out of SQL images. So I'm trying to so Docker desktop, and let's try to see what we could do about this. So basically, I look for MySQL, run that. So basically, we're showing on port 3306. So if I'm going to start with a new container, well, what I'm going to need is I'm going to need to start running on port 3307. So let's go ahead and grab the code, try to do that. All right, so yeah, so basically, what I've done, my port, and then I set my SQL string. Right, this is his database, secret password, so I could connect. Right, and then I'll port 3307, 3306. So what I need to do now is that I need to run additional scripts. Maybe I don't. So what I'm going to try to do now, right, after we start the server, and then hopefully we could, and then I'll also what I want to do is I want to also connect. So it's going to be MySQL So Jonas co local 0, connection group is local, right? And then serving port, localhost port 3307, database. I think it starts out as MySQL. Username is root, and then password, and then the password is my secret password. My secret password. Let's test the connection. Yep. Yep. So I think I'm connecting it to. Okay, so I think I'm connect. So I have to configure it a bit. So I think I need an SSH in there, and I need to try to configure it properly. Right, and then even so, what I'm thinking is that I got to get in there. Right, so what I'm not to do, right, I'm not to. What not to do, I'm not have to SSH in there. Make those changes. So all right, so now kind of in here. All right, so now I'm kind of in here. So now what I need to do, I need to say MySQL is u root and then -p, and then I say my SCCRATPW. All right, so cool. So there's that. So now, right, I'm going to run some scripts. So basically, I'm going to go ahead and create a user here because it looks like you just can't connect with root anymore. So there's that. Then I say flush the privileges, and then I say create database supermarkets. R markets. Now I really can't tell the schema, but from here, what I should be able to do is my admin. All right, good. So now I'm all connected. Right. So if I'm able to connect, then hopefully there's no issue with my driver, and I should be able to connect from there as well. Right. So I'll say so. There's that. So now I'm able to do that. So now here, right, instead of the username is going to have to be my admin. And let's try to see how everything goes, right? So I'm basically not going to connect that way. So now I got to try to restart and try to reconnect that way. All right, so hopefully, so now, what I want to try to do, right, I want to be able to, all right, let's try to refresh the page. All right, so let's try to see what's going on, because now we're getting another error. So, this really kind of sucks. So supermarket product doesn't exist. So basically what it's trying to say here is that, listen, you got to go in and create your tables here. Right, and I like doing that. I wish this app would have just done that for me, as all but it looks like we're not using the ORM to kind of help us out. So we're gonna have to go to our DAOs, and then I think these DAOs are gonna just represent. You're gonna have to basically represent, what needs to happen here. So saying products don't exist. So basically, on our local section, let's try to do it. Um, so product. All right, so there's that. So basically, what I gotta try to do here, I gotta create my tables, right? As much as unfortunate as it sounds, because this application is not creating them for me. So what I like to do is that as I kind of like start and stop here. So it's basically trying to say supermarkets that product doesn't exist. So what I'm gonna do, and then I think what we're set to do now is that since um, we've connected, so we made the supermarket table. So I say supermarkets. So let's connect that way, and then we have some sort of error here. So 5 things got extorted from here. One, two, three, four. Replace const with what? Actually, no. I want that to be const. I said extort, like so. Now, hopefully, that kind of does the trick for us. Alright, so let's try to focus. So basically, this is my product DAO. And then I just don't know what's in this table. And then also wants a category. So we're gonna try to create table product. Alright, so create table if not exists, and then product. Alright, and then product name is text. And then I kind of wonder why I'm not getting. So product name as product name. So it looks like it kind of grabs it that way. I don't know why. So I say price is text. Hopefully image, I'm grabbing the image and not the image URL. So that the image URL, not the image, right? And then category name is text. And then ID, I'm gonna just say text. It's supposed to be a primary key, but I'm gonna just say text. So product, price, image, category name, product. This is very confusing. But if I'm getting these values, it looks like this is how it's kind of saved in the database. So yeah, MySQL, I come to find, people use PostgreSQL a lot just because of this. It looks like category ID is a foreign key. So is text, category name name is text. And then look at that. This is what they call prepared statements. And then, so there's that. Then you get product by search, product name. Okay, so, all right, so that all that's working. So this is my cart DAO, and I guess it's hidden out and exported and everything. So all right, so now create cart. So export, and then so create table cart, and then also like to drop it. Cart, and then usually everything has ID, so ID is text, and then is open. That's going to be that's I'm just leave it as a text. I think, but for this to work, I think this needs to be a bool. So it's going to be a bool. So let me work on this database here. All right, so there's that. I'm not sure of all the table stuff that needs to be in here. So so there's just going to be that. Um, so there's a cart product table looks like, and then I'm honestly wondering. It definitely does look like there's supposed to be a cart product table. I'm not sure what's everything is supposed to be in there. Product ID. This is text. That's going to be a foreign key for another idea, another table. Cart cart ID is equal to text, and then ID is equal to text. Alright, so this is a big application here. Client ID, got this ID, price card ID, and then all right. So there's that. There's the market dial. Select. All right. So I need this to be the appropriate multi-line string, so I can see what's going on in here. Right, and that's going to explain. So it's going to export. Get rid of this. Select count as product, and then yes, it's going to be like this inserted virtual table. So now this invitation table somewhere. Product. So I don't know. I don't know what the invitation table is for, but I wonder if it's supposed to have four tables. So it's an order dial. Let's get to working on it. All right, so there's my invitation table. I guess that's order. They're calling orders invitation, interestingly, but I guess it was what it is. And that looks like I have my my product table, and then my user table. Let's try to see what that looks like. This is all the information I need for try to put everything online here. TXT. All right, so hopefully, this kind of does the trick. So I think this is where we might fall short because there's too many things you might not know about here, right? But one thing I do know is that these all have to be exports. So I say export. Oh, decrypt. So it looks like I can't import decrypt from decrypt. I hope that kind of does the trick for us. All right, so what I'm gonna do is let's try to see how my MySQL handles everything, and let's try to see if you create these tables. Yep. So I think what it is that I gotta put semicolons after every single table I try to create here, which I didn't, but hopefully these are all the tables I kind of need to know about. Yeah. So now I'm wondering, say commas. Usually, either should I have commas? Then I'm wondering if SQL even likes username. So hopefully. Alright, it looks like it kind of made it. So if I look at my database here, I look at my tables, kind of get a whole lot of cool stuff. So let's go into my terminal. Right, so looks like my application's running. We're just trying to. Alright, so it's going to start up now. Okay, so here's my application, right? So let's try to see. Now I have my server up there running. So let's try to see what everything looks like. So and look, so there are my products and orders. So this database is obviously empty, but it has to get filled up. So that's going to be the end of it. So thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and reach